Chances are if you clicked on this video you want to learn how to do a proper kickoff, because let's face it, the majority of Rocket League players' kickoffs suck. I've seen everything from this, to this, and whatever the f this is. Anyway, seeing as I've probably done almost 100,000 kickoffs, I've got 3 different kickoffs that you can use depending on your skill level that are the most effective you can do, and are also quite easy to learn and master. So hopefully gone are the days where you lose a tight overtime game to a kickoff goal and now you can just destroy your opponents on kickoff, leaving them to tell you that your kickoff goals, well, this says it all. Also, be sure to subscribe to help the channel on its journey to 100,000 subscribers. It would mean a lot to me and it's a great way to keep up to date with uploads and content. Alright, so let's start with the first and most basic kickoff that everyone should learn regardless of rank, the good old forward flip. There is literally no reason to not use this kickoff over simply boosting into the ball. It saves boost and gets you there as quick if not faster. Here is a side-by-side comparison of the 2 kickoffs, so if you do the one on the left, definitely listen up so you can learn this. Firstly, you want to know when to flip, as I assume everyone knows how to flip, I hope. So depending on the position, a general rule is to forward flip when you drive over the first boost pad. There is a little bit of space and time before you reach this position, so you must use this to straighten your car in a position that when you flip, you'll be traveling at the ball. One of the main things that can go wrong is you are not lined up, so you end up flipping too far left or right, meaning you must turn and then lose momentum, and it pretty much just guarantees a lost kickoff. Also, remember not to boost when you are mid-flip, as it will push you the wrong way and just slow you down. So before you progress, go into free play and turn off unlimited boost and practice the flip and only the flip. And once you are confident that you can flip towards the center of the ball, we move on to the next step, the contact with the ball. The biggest thing with this is that you must try to hit the center of the ball. Because the kickoff is essentially a pinch, if the opponent is more center than you, they will win as shown. You want to make sure the center of your nose is hitting the center of the ball, as that will give you the best chance of winning the kickoff. Lastly, on the diagonal kickoffs, it is better to flip slightly towards the center and straighten up when you land like this, as it essentially centers you and leaves the opposite side less vulnerable compared to if you didn't. So for the lower ranked players and everyone who does the basic boost and flip into the wall kickoff, please adapt this style as it will help you a lot, as there is essentially no cons but just gives you extra boost. Alright, so for those who are a bit of a higher rank and already do this style of kickoff, you want to start to learn the diagonal flip. For those who don't know, a diagonal flip is slightly faster than a forward flip, meaning using it on kickoff is obviously better. You're also able to boost through the flip, allowing you to gain more speed, but it obviously leaves you with less post kickoff, so it's a fine line. It also requires more control and there is far more room for error, which is why I recommend learning the previous one first. It follows the same format as the forward flip kickoff, however there is a slightly different maneuver and flip into the ball required. Firstly, you must learn the diagonal flip. It's pretty easy, you just have to push the stick into the top right or left when flipping. However, what you must do is turn slightly to the opposite side that you are flipping before you flip. This is because a diagonal flip pushes you to the side as well as forward, so if you counter that with a slight turn to the opposite side, you will end up going straight. You still straighten up and flip over the first boost pad, but the side you flip is what matters. If you're on the left side of the field, you must diagonal flip to the right, and if you're on the right side of the field, you flip to the left. This is because, like the first kickoff, it positions your car towards the center line of the field before you make contact with the ball, giving you a better chance of winning the kickoff. Once again, go into free play and practice getting this flip online before you try to pull it off in game. It's a bit tougher, so be prepared to put a bit of time into it. In terms of contact with the ball, it's pretty much the same as the first kickoff, you should just try to hit the center. However, as you're going to be getting to the ball a bit faster, you should be aware of the dreaded delayed kickoff. This is a fast kickoff's worst enemy, as someone that has no clue what they're doing and gets to the ball a lot slower can actually beat you. As you get to the ball before your opponent, you can often end up hitting the ball into them and then they hit it once you are already past, meaning they essentially win it. A good way to hard counter this is to simply forward flip when you hit the ball. This means that even if you hit it into them, you continue to follow the line of the ball and can dunk them again and win the kickoff. That's pretty much it for this kickoff. It's great if you're past that forward flip stage and want to better your kickoffs, but not quite at the level of the final and best kickoff in the game, the speed flip. Obviously, to do this you need to learn how to speed flip, but lucky for you, I have a video outlining how I learned to speed flip and how you can as well, so go check that out first. However, I'll give a few key things about the speed flip before we start. It is essentially a cancelled straight diagonal forward flip. Whilst that may seem like a lot of mumbo jumbo, what I mean by it is that you push your stick on a 20-degree angle like shown on the controller. You can then boost the entire time, and with the flip being the fastest possible, yeah, you get there really quick. Additionally, if you're on controller, I recommend binding air roll and power slide to the same button so you can hold it for the entire duration of the flip. This is because when you're coming out of the flip, you're going to need to air roll slightly to straighten yourself up, as you'll not be completely flat and facing forwards. Additionally, you want to be holding power slide when you land, as quite often you will not be facing forwards, so this allows you to continue in the direction of momentum and to hit the ball. It is not easy to learn and master. It took me hours and hours of practice and many lost kickoffs, but with enough time and experimentation, you'll definitely be able to get it down. So there are a few different variations of the speed flip kickoff. Firstly, you can actually use it to completely beat your opponent to the ball, but it's super risky and you should only use it if their kickoff is super slow. Secondly, there is the more conventional speed flip, where you follow the same line as diagonal flip, but it's just faster. If you're doing the first type of kickoff, you have to try to hit the edge of the ball, meaning the opponent can't even get close to it. This requires a super precise flip and can still be dunked by a diagonal flip, so I wouldn't recommend it. If you can pull it off though, it is just about unstoppable and will leave your opponent probably forfeiting. For the second kickoff, there isn't really too much else to go through that is different to the diagonal flip. It is effectively the same kickoff, just with a speed flip. It pretty much all centers around your ability to execute the speed flip while still maintaining good position relative to the ball so you can go on to hit the center. Again, use the same side to flip as the diagonal to position towards the center line and flip over the first boost pad. You have to be even more aware for the delayed kickoffs and dunks, as you will likely be to the ball much earlier than your opponent, but simply forward flipping through the ball and being aware of their position can easily counter this. If someone is using a good speed flip against your trash diagonal or forward flip, you can always do a fake kickoff. This essentially means you do a fake forward flip where you don't boost and then instantly turn around and go for your corner boost, meaning they hit the ball to you and you end up with both it and 100 boost. Also, don't do this kickoff on anyone but the diagonal ones, as they'll just hit it straight in and you'll look like a real clown. Additionally, you should always be watching your opponent to see where they are so you can get the most out of your kickoff. If they are to the side, then diagonal flip into the ball the opposite way to force it out to that side as they are not covering it. If they are slow, be sure to forward flip to counter the delay. You get the picture. Adaptation is just as important as a good kickoff, and when combined, can get you one of the best kickoffs out there. Also, as a final thing for the video, it is always left goes, unless you can speed flip and they can't. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the kickoff tutorial, learned something new, and can now go in and start smashing all your kickoffs. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Cheers.